today I am saving big with Dollar Tree outdoor decorating hacks, quick and easy, anybody can do. Welcome to CJ DIY. I am C. Dollar Tree is selling those metal plant stands in 6 different colors and there is so much you can do with them. They're at the plus section, $5 each. I grabbed 2 of them in a black color and I will give them a quickest and easiest makeover. I will spray paint them with this marble effect spray paint that I got from Amazon. I have this can for a couple of years and I did so many projects with it. You don't need a lot of spray paint to cover those plant stands. Just in 3 minutes, you can just spray paint them on top and on the side and you will have a brand new marble effect plant stand, perfect for outdoor look. I repeated the same step on my second plant. I also sealed them with a clear coat of Rust-Oleum since they will be outdoor, and now I will add them beside my stairs on my patio. Now to decorate my stands, I'm using 2 planters from Dollar Tree. I really love how they look. I will give them just a little effect with creating stripes, and I like those planters since they came with ribs, so I don't need to measure. I am covering them with a black paint. I gave them a 2 to 3 good coats. I also sealed them with a clear Rust-Oleum cover since they will be outdoor, and without breaking a bank and saving big, I will create my backyard patio into a grand oasis paradise so we can enjoy our nice warm weather. When the stripes on the planter are nice and dry, I am using the golden marker from Dollar Tree and I am just giving a highlights between the stripes just for extra effect and more high-end look. I fill out my planters with greeneries and flowers, and I added one of those solar lights in a color copper, perfect for my outdoor patio. And just a little detail on top of my solar lights, I have added a little detail on each planters, those cute little copper butterflies, and my planters are ready to be added on my new plant stands. For more planters idea, I have another video and I will link it in my description box below. Check it out. Another amazing find at Dollar Tree Plus section are those metal black lanterns. They come in 2 or 3 different sizes. I got the large one. They're $5 each. Pottery Barn are selling those lanterns. Okay, they're better quality, but they're way more pricey. So those are perfect look for our backyard. I'm adding those solar cylinder lights. Dollar Tree is full of different solar lights. Grab them. You can do so much with them and make your patio into amazing look. So I'm using those cylinder lights and I'm adding them on the bottom of my lantern. Also, I fill it out with a white stone just to be more heavier, and voila, nothing more. You can add some plants inside if you like. Also on the stairs, I added those solar lights also from Dollar Tree. If you see those, grab those as well. and you won't regret it. For my next project, you can use a floral foam wreath or a pool noodle. I couldn't find a floral foam wreath, so I'm using a pool noodle. I added a painter's tape and make it in a shape of a wreath, and now I grab all those greeneries from Dollar Tree. Those are their best quality greeneries that Dollar Tree is selling. So if you see all those greeneries, grab them. They look so good. And I cut them off on smaller pieces, and now all those picks will be covering the pool noodle. And as you can see, my daughter is helping me with all those picks. And it was so easy to do. Anybody can do it. You can use this piece as a wreath. You can add it on your door, or like I'm using it as a centerpiece in the middle of my glass table where I add the umbrella. Just the perfect look, and look how high-end it looks. Also, the bottom is covered with a green moss. And for more details, I will be using more of those solar lights together with these metal candle holders from Dollar Tree. Just the perfect look. I add them on top. You can glue them or leave them as they are beside my green centerpiece, and I have an amazing look on my table. I have also found those amazing flickering flame lanterns from Amazon. Those are gorgeous. And I will add 2 of them on top of these ceramic black candle holders from Dollar Tree. An amazing hack. And those lanterns implement perfect with my Dollar Tree solar light, especially nighttime. It is gorgeous. If you find those hooks at Dollar Tree, grab them because they're selling out super fast and we can do so much with them. I used mine on top of the lanterns and I added more lanterns to them. Also, I added more different lanterns on those hooks, and it looks beautiful just to rise up your lanterns and give them a high-end look. Another amazing hack from Dollar Tree are those broom handles. I grabbed 3 of them, and on top of them I added my solar lights on them, and amazing beautiful look with all those Dollar Tree hacks, and my patio is ready for enjoyment. Let me know which of those hacks you like the best. Those are the quickest and easiest hacks that anybody can do. You can do those in half an hour for less than a couple of dollars. You can turn your patio into a luxury appearance. So simple yet and so satisfying looks that it won't break a bank. And at the end, everybody is happy and ready to enjoy the summer. I found this cute butterfly cutout and this cute new galvanized bee planter. I will give them a nice makeover with covering the butterfly with this metallic gold finish from Dollar Tree, and I will let it dry. I love this planter with rhombus lines as ribs and bees in between, so I decided to highlight the rhombus lines with a permanent black marker until the whole planter is covered with those lines. It's super quick and easy, but at the end you will have such a high-end look that you will not know that we only spent $1.25 for this planter. Now that the lines are all covered with a black marker, I am using my golden marker and adding highlights on top of it, and I'm distressing the bees with the marker too, so I can get that golden shade. Another little detail, I'm highlighting the top and the bottom with a black marker, and when that is done, I will attach the butterfly that we added the golden finish to it. To attach the butterfly on the back of my planter, I will be using a small piece of a wood stick and adding it on the bottom part of the butterfly. I am adding a tacky glue and a hot glue for immediate gluing, and I will add that on the back part of my planter. And you have a brand new look for this planter. For embellishments, I will be using these cute honeybee jewels that I got in my stash. I got them from Amazon, and I will be overlaying them on top of each bee that is on my planter. I added a tacky glue and a hot glue, and I am covering the whole planter with those cute honeybees. I decided to rise up my planter a little bit with adding 4 black beads on the bottom part of it. I'm filling out the planter with some bags and some tissues. On top of it, I'm gluing some floral foam, and I will be adding some yellow flowers with some greeneries. I'm also covering the floral foam with a green moss. You can always add a real plant and it will look beautiful for your indoor or outdoor look. And another little detail are those LED solar lights from Dollar Tree. I'm adding one with the butterfly in the middle part of the planter between the flowers, and it's done. I got this plastic tray from Dollar Tree. I give it a nice 3 good coats with a white chalk paint, and now I will decoupage it with this Harley Quinn with bee napkin. I'm tracing it over with fingers to see how much of this napkin I need. I will remove the 2 other layers from this napkin. I will cut off the excess, and then with a Mod Podge I will decoupage it inside of this tray. Super quick and easy makeover. I cut off the excess on all 4 sides. I'm adding a Mod Podge, and layer by layer I am smoothing it out slowly. And with my decoupage brayer, I gotta be careful because this napkin is super tiny. I don't want to rip it off, and I am covering my whole tray with it. And after that I will seal the napkin with a Mod Podge, and then I will let it dry for like 1 hour to 2 hours. And then to smooth it even more, I use my parchment paper and my mini press. I went over it, and that part is done. Also, for extra embellishment, I went over with a gold finish around the edges of the napkin, and with a gold marker I went over with the handles and around it, and I distress it just lightly with a metallic finish. And you have a brand new look for this tray that you can use outdoor when you're serving some coffee or tea, or you can use it as a decorative piece. This tall planter from Dollar Tree, but I decided to give it a nice makeover with covering it all with a white chalk paint. And now that it's dry, I grabbed one of those sponge brushes from Dollar Tree, and with a black paint I am creating polka dots all over this planter, and we will turn this planter into this fancy, shabby chic, high-end French look for indoor and outdoor decor. I am also distressing the top and the bottom with a black paint, and after that with the white paint I am adding on each polka dot some shadow with a white paint just to give them that 3D effect on the polka dots. I will be also using one of those oval wood plaques from Dollar Tree. I am heavy distressing it with this metallic gold finish from Dollar Tree. I love this paint. It's like a rusticy gold finish. And from Dollar Tree, I also grabbed one of those rings, and I will be using the largest one. I painted them with a white paint, and now I will add them between the planter with gluing them on the bottom part on top of the wood plaque. And to put them together, I will tie them with a one Chanel stamp in the middle on top. This is such a quick and easy makeover, and at the end it will look so high-end that nobody will know that we made it with Dollar Tree items. Now that I cut off the Chanel stamp, I am filling out my planter with some random greeneries and flowers. I also found those new eucalyptus from Dollar Tree with the purple ends. It looks so beautiful and high-end. I cut a couple of those stamps. I also added inside of my planter. And now to cover my stem on top and also for extra embellishment, I found those large 3D butterflies at Dollar Tree, and I'm adding one on top of it where I added the Chanel stamp. You can leave it like it is, but also you can add extra more butterflies on the side of the rings. It will look amazing. For my next makeover, I grabbed a couple of those leaf garlands and those mini pots and one of those foam rings, and I will create wreath with two of those leaf garlands. I will wrap them around the foam ring, and then I will cut off a couple of leaves and I will glue them on top of the garland so I can make the foam ring not visible, if that makes sense. So more fuller this ring is, the better will look. And now that I added the garlands, I'm adding more leaves to it from my third garland and covering the whole wreath with it. I am also adding some peaks of flowers and more leaves to it to make this wreath more fuller and more high-end. I have also created 4-loop bow with this checkered ribbon, and I'm adding it on top of the wreath. For extra embellishment, I also created this cute mini pot with some flowers and moss, and I'm also distressing it with a white paint, and I am creating a tag with this wood mini round piece, and I'm adding some rub-on transfer on top of it with some cohesive roses and flowers to add it on the pot. I added some stick on the back on my tag, and I'm adding the tag inside of my pot, and I will add this pot on the bottom part of my wreath. I also sealed my transfers with a clear wax, and our wreath is done, and I really love how it came out. have also found those mini 4 sets of pots at Dollar Tree, and I grabbed the gray ones, and I will give them a nice makeover with painting them with a white chalk paint, and then I will decoupage them with a pink checkered napkin. Super quick and easy makeover to refresh your home for this spring and summer. I'm adding a layer of a Mod Podge, and I'm covering the pot with the napkin. Slowly with the fingers I'm smoothing it out, and I'm cutting the pieces on the napkin together so I can add the puzzles with this checkerboard. And also on top I'm adding Mod Podge to seal it and to smooth it even more out, and I am cutting off the excess on top and the bottom. I'm smoothing it out with the sponge brush, and super quick and easy decoupage makeover. I repeated the same step for my other 2 pots, and now to smooth them out, I'm adding a parchment paper and a mini press, and a perfect new look for those 3 plastic pots that they don't even look like they're plastic now. To put them all together, I will create a mini riser with this floating wood shelf from Dollar Tree. All I did is I just added a wood beads on the bottom part, and then to cover those holes on top from this wood piece, I just tie a little piece of a twine and added on top of those holes, and I added the pots, and I have a perfect riser for my pots. To decorate my pots, I found those cute new pink bushes that they're exactly the same color like my pink checkered print is on my pots. I added 3 of those picks, and I covered them with those stones, and new look for less than $5. I found this cute purple candy container, and also I grabbed one of those wood pieces from Dollar Tree, and what I did is I painted the purple candy container with a white paint. I let it dry, and now that it's dry, I'm creating stripes with, instead of me adding tape, with the help of this wood stick, I'm just creating stripes, and it's super easy because of those half rounds on top of the container. So I'm just following that pattern and creating straight lines and painting it over with this yellow paint. Super quick and easy makeover. Now that the stripes are all done, nice and dry, I will fill out the container with a floral foam and some styrofoam in between just to fill out the gaps. And also I will cover all this with the white stones since I ran out of moss. If you have a green moss, you can cover it with a moss. And I'm creating a topiary with these green spheres that I have in my stash. And I added some mini lemons, but I will adjust it. Those are from few years back. I wanted to turn them into a large sphere so I can create a topiary for my container. So what I did is to connect those two spheres together. I just grabbed one of those zip ties and I put them all together. Super easy process. If you have one of those mini green spheres to make them into one larger, you can just add those together with the zip ties, tie them, and nobody will know that there are two pieces of those green spheres in it. And after this, I'm cutting off the zip ties and I'm adding some lemons and some leaves and some yellow mini flowers to make my sphere larger and fuller. And then one of those wooden sticks, I added and glue it inside of the sphere, and I will add this when it's ready on top of my container that I created. And I have a perfect new lemon topiary look for this summer and spring. Now to rise up my topiary, I will be using this wooden container that I also stained it with the metallic gold finish. And that's it for this quick and easy makeover. I'm gonna be using two wooden slices, one larger in an oval shape and one smaller in a round shape. I'm gonna paint them with a yellow paint, folk art and terracotta, and I'm gonna mix those two shades of yellow together until I got the color that I like during painting it. I am using a sponge brush and I'm covering my larger oval wooden shape. Then with a smaller brush, I'm going around the edges of my wooden slice. I don't want to cover the frame of the wood, so that's why I'm just using the smaller brush, and I'm doing the same thing on my smaller wooden slice. When the paint is nice and dry on the smaller wooden slice, I'm just drawing a face, and it's super easy to make the face with a pen or pencil first, and then you're gonna go with the paint over the face that you draw. And this reminds me of my childhood when I was drawing some cute faces. And guess what? I'm gonna make her royalty, her highness, Queen Bee, and I am making her to look cute as a honeybee. I'm just drawing the random eyes and eyebrows and nose, some cute lips. And then when it's all done, I'm gonna cover her hair with a black chalk paint, and with my tiny brush, I'm just going around the edges that I draw. And see how easy it is to make a cute face on your decorations. You don't need to have any experience. Go from the childhood. I'm pretty sure all of you draw some cute faces, look like our characters from our cartoons. And here you go. After I cover the hair with the chalk paint, with the marker, I'm going over the face, the eyes, the eyebrows, and the nose, and it's easier like that. I added some eyelashes. Also, now I'm making the pupils. I'm adding the white chalk paint with a super tiny brush, and then the inside I'm gonna add some beautiful ocean blue color, and this what makes this character look so realistic, like it's from a real cartoon. Look how cute it came. I had so much fun and pleasure making this cute face, and it's gonna look like a real cartoon character. I'm also adding her some cheeks with this makeup blush, and with my sponge I'll just add it, and it looks so cute. And now to add some 3D effect, I grab my puff paint. This is one of those fabric paints at Dollar Tree, and I'm going over the nose and the hair, and the face is done and it looks gorgeous. Now that the face is done, I leave it on the side to get dry, and I'm gonna be working on the larger wooden slice. On the frame, on the slice, I'm just adding tiny line of a black chalk paint, so it can be like more like a frame for my bee, and that's gonna be the body of my bee. Also, I'm gonna be using this faux leather vinyl from Dollar Tree, and I'm just drawing a half a circle, and those will be the stripes for the body of my honeybee. I'm using my zigzag scissors to create some designs on my stripes, and I'm gonna cut 2 stripes like this, one larger and one smaller. Then when I got the 2 stripes that I wanted to fit enough in the slice, I'm just gonna cut off the edges, and now they're ready to be glued. I'm gonna be using a wood glue from Dollar Tree, and with a brush I'm going over the smaller slice and adding it on the bottom of my oval shape of slice. I'm doing the same thing on my faux leather stripes. I'm gluing them, and wood glue worked perfect for this faux leather vinyl. It was nice and sturdy, and I really love how it was glued in just a few minutes. I didn't need to add any hot glue to speed up the gluing process. For my honeybee antennas, I'm gonna be using Chanel stems. I got these velvety yellow Chanel stems. I cut them in a little pieces, and then I paint them with a marker and a black paint. And with the help of my marker, I'm creating the shape of the antenna just on one edge. And I'm gonna do the same thing on my other antenna as well. Now that I got a shape of my antennas, I'm gonna be adding 2 yellow berries that I got from my branches, and I'm just gonna glue those on the edges of my antenna so they can look just perfect for my honeybee. I'm gonna be adding them on top of the head of my honeybee, but before that, our queen deserves her crown. So I'm using one of my crowns that I got from my other crafts that I was doing last year. I got those crowns from Amazon. They were like $7, but they came in like 8 or 9 pieces. So I'm just cutting off the crown in half because it's easier to glue it that way. Then I'm gonna glue it on the side of my queen. To make wings for my bee, I'm gonna be using 2 more Chanel stems in a color yellow. I'm making them in a shape of a flower petal. So easy, you just flip them, and then the edges, you just roll them just like that, as you can see. And to add some more beautiful colors, I'm gonna be using this polka dot yellow ribbon that I got from Temu, and it's such a good quality. And I'm gonna cut it off, and then I'm gonna glue the Chanel stem on top of the ribbon, and then we're gonna cut it off in the shape of that petal that we made. And that's it. Super quick and easy, and we made perfect wings. I'm gonna do the same thing on my second wing, and now I'm gonna glue them on the back of the sign, and that part is done. I made it a simple 2-loop bow with the same polka dot ribbon, and in the middle I added some beautiful mini daisy or sunflower, whatever you like to call. I glue some mini bee, and that's it for this cuteness. You're gonna love my next creation. I mean, I love it, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna love it. And it's super easy, and it's super budget friendly. All I did is I needed 2 packs of wooden clothespins from Dollar Tree. I used 48 of them. So what I did is I just removed the metal spring from the pins, and now I'm just gonna glue them the opposite way. As you can see, I'm just connecting one pin with the other, but not the original way that they were, but I'm the opposite way, and I'm creating some kind of petal shape form. And I'm gonna make all 48 of them because I'm gonna need them for my sign. And next I'm gonna be using this wooden round sign from Dollar Tree. I'm gonna remove the hanger because I don't need it. Later I'm gonna add a different twine on the back of my sign. I'm gonna paint my sign with a black chalk paint, and also I'm painting my pins with yellow and black. After they're all painted and dry, now let the fun begins. In the middle part, I'm gonna be adding this beautiful round shape of a bee sign that I got from Temu last year. All those crafts that you see today, they're from last year. They were in my stash, and I never had a chance to make them. And now it's a perfect time for me to craft from my crafting stash. So I'm gluing my sign right in the middle of my round wooden sign, and then around the edges I'm just gonna add my pins. So I'm gonna create a pattern with the black and yellow petals, just like that, until I cover the whole sign with them, and then we're gonna glue them. And look how cute these colors look, and look how beautiful those clothespins look in this shape. I really love it. What do you think? I'm gonna add a wood glue on those clothespins in case we like to put the sign outside. And now, after all of them are glued, I'm gonna be creating a polka dots with my permanent black marker on the yellow pins. And then after I cover all with the polka dots on the yellow pins, I'm gonna add a white polka dots on my black pins. And with those mixture of colors, it looks so whimsical and happy and beautiful decor. Let me know, what do you think? It was easier for me to do it with a marker, and for the white paint, I just didn't have a white marker, so I just used the tiny brush, and with my white chalk paint, I'm going over until I got covered all of my black pins. Now that my dots are done, I'm gonna be making some funky bows. These ribbons are such a good quality, and I got them from Temu last year. I believe they still have them. And I just cut off those tails on both sides, and I just connect them all together randomly, but because they were too thick, I made it 2 bows, and I put them all together just to look fuller. And I'm just gonna glue them on the side of my sign. You can be creative and create any kind of bow as you prefer, but this time I just wanted to make this funky bow. In the middle, I just added a sunflower, and I added a tiny bee, and this part is done. For my next creation, I'm gonna be using this bee-shaped wreath from a Dollar Tree. If you are watching my channel, you know that I made a beautiful ladybug out of this bee wreath. And if you haven't seen it, I'm gonna plug that video in my description box. You gotta check it out. I made a beautiful ladybug decor. First thing, what I'm gonna do is I'm covering the frame of this wreath with this thick twine black ribbon that I found at Dollar Tree, and I made a mistake. I should have spray painted black because I saw a little bit of a red peek through on the back, but after that, off camera, I fixed it with a permanent black marker. I went off on those lines that I see the red. It's not visible. It was bothering me because I knew that it was there. But if you're making a bee like this, make sure you spray paint it in a black color and you're not gonna have any problem afterwards. This rope, it's so easy to add it on a wreath like this. You just added the hot Gorilla Glue and going around the frame edges, and you have a perfect frame. Now for the body, I'm gonna be using this fuzzy new fabric that I found at Dollar Tree. It's just a perfect, and it screams honeybee on it. So I'm just going with the pen around the body so I can cut off that portion of it. After I mark the part that I need, I'm just gonna cut it off with the scissors, and I'm gonna glue it on the back part of this wreath, and it fits just perfect, and it's so easy to add it as well. I'm just gonna glue the edges where I need to add the fabric, and simple as that. It's gonna look just perfect with this fuzzy material on this fabric. For the head and the wings, I'm gonna use another fuzzy fabric from Dollar Tree, this time in color black, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna mark it off, and then I'm gonna cut it off, and I'm gonna glue it around the edges of my frame. Super simple and easy, and I love this fuzzy fabric as well. After I glue the part that I needed, I'm just cutting off the edges to make it nice and smoother, and as you can see, the red part of the frame is still peeking through, but off camera, as I mentioned, I just went over with a black permanent marker. Now that that part is done, I'm creating a large 4-loop bow with this beautiful polka dot ribbon, and it's such a beautiful material, and the ribbon is so easy to work with. And now I'm just gonna add it on the frame of my bee right in the middle, and I'm gonna glue it on the back of the Chanel stems just to make it more sturdy. And I'm cutting off the edges as a ducktails with my zigzag scissor just to have some extra detail on my wreath. And that's it for that part. Super cute. For extra embellishment, I'm gonna be adding yellow berries on the edges of the bee antennas, like I did for my first queen bee, and more embellishments, more cuter for our wreath. Also, I'm gonna be adding some faux flowers on the side of my wreath, just 2 picks with those yellow cute mini roses. And that's it for this super easy, beautiful wreath. This is not a DIY, it's a hack, but it's beautiful. I don't know if you catch those lanterns last year from Dollar Tree. They're just gorgeous. All I did is I made 2 simple cute yellow bows, and I'm gonna glue them on top of those lanterns. And then inside I'm gonna be adding some greeneries and some flowers, and one of those Dollar Tree lanterns. Those lanterns are so beautiful. The light is so bright on those lanterns. I just love it. So I just add them to one of my scale that I made few years ago. I'm also, if you're interested to see how I made this scale, wooden scale, I made it last year. I'm gonna have that video also linked in my description box. And I'm just changing it throughout the season, and this time with the bee decor is just perfect. For my next bee decor, I'm using another wreath from Dollar Tree. This time I'm gonna be using this Beehive form, and I'm using one of their burlap fabrics also from Dollar Tree. After I marked and I cut it off the portion that I needed, I'm gonna glue it on the back of my wreath. And I'm making this one like a pretty simple rustic farmhousey. So all I did is I glued this fabric on top of this wreath with a hot Gorilla Glue. I'm just going around the edges until the whole fabric is nice, smooth, and glued. On the side, I'm gonna be adding 2 of the wooden honey dipper sticks. Also on top of it, I'm adding 1 of my funky bow that I have left over from my other wreath, and I'm just gonna glue it on the side of my beehive. And as I mentioned, this will be very simple. I'm just adding a glue on my honey dipper sticks to make it look like it's honey. My friend, my darling friend Jackie from Crafting in Mimi's World, she's a professional with all these bee decor, and I saw her, she's been doing this with the glue. So what I did is I added an extra amount of hot glue, and then on top I added a yellow paint, but I didn't like the paint, so on top of that I went over with my fingers with my golden metallic finish to make it look more like a honey, and it looks just perfect. And then in the middle of my beehive, I'm adding 1 of my honey bees that I got in my stash. I got this one long time ago from Hobby Lobby. It was on clearance and it's just perfect for this wreath. Also, I'm adding more honey on the wires and adding mini bees on it, and that's it. Not even 5 minutes and you have a beautiful decor with the bee theme. And here how everything looked together. I added on my porch so you can see how all look together. This cap at Hobby Lobby, 90% off. Original price was $9.99, and guess what? I only paid 99 cents for it, so I grabbed a couple of them so I can remake them. It is so well done that I had a very hard time taking that Happy St. Patrick's Day sign. So I sprinkle it with the water first, and then on top I add some wet wipes and let that water absorb into that sign for a few minutes before I remove it. After a few minutes, because I was impatient to work on this project, I grabbed my scraping tool from Dollar Tree and I scrape off that paper sheet on top of it. Then I went and I wash it off, and now when it's all nice and smooth, I'm just adding a black chalk paint on top of this sign. I give it a 2 good coats with this chalk paint, and then I let it on the side to get dry. Now that my sign is dry, I'm going to be creating Chalet de Lavande. That means Lavender Cottage, with these wooden letters cut out that previously I painted in color white. So I'm just layering the letters like I wanted to. You can also add some stickers or create any kind of sign, but this is such a great idea for my porch, and it's just budget friendly. It's not gonna cost me a lot, and I'm gonna have a very kind looking sign, and you're gonna love to remake it. Now that I layered my letters like I wanted to, I grabbed my wood glue, and with a tiny brush I'm going over the letters and I'm just gluing them on my sign. Quick and easy, but I really love this combination with black and white so far. And then in the middle we're gonna add some embellishments. For embellishments, I'm gonna be adding this lavender ribbon transfers from Redesigned with Prima. I cut off the portion of the lavender bouquets that I wanted to be transferred, and I'm just gonna layer them before I transfer them on. The beauty of the transfers is you can combine them wherever you like and create them into one piece, and when you add them all together, it's gonna look just gorgeous. Now when I see how I'm gonna transfer them, I grab the scraping tool that it came with this Redesigned with Prima transfers, and I'm slowly going on top of the header sheet. And it's so easy to work with these ribbon transfers. Slowly you just use that tool and you just going on top of that sheet, and when you see that sheet is fading, you know that the transfer is on your surface. I'm doing the same thing next to the middle bouquet and adding the rest of the bouquets with it and making it into one piece together, and it's gonna look super cute. I'm finishing it off with a couple of more transfers between the words, and I think adding more colors and more lavender is just a perfect look. You can be creative and add as much as transfers as you want. Those transfers were like $15 a package, but altogether there is like 30 transfers in this package, and that cost like 80 cents per transfer. You can find transfers at any crafting store and be creative and create your own version. Now that my whole transfers are on, this is how it looks, and to seal it, I'm gonna be adding this DIY clear wax all over my sign, and this creation is done. For my next creation, I'm going to be using these pillow covers that I purchased from Temu. I have also downloaded an image from Etsy. I'm using the transfer sheets. These transfer sheets are from Amazon. Links are in my description box. And now after I printed in a mirror image with my mini press, I'm going over until my whole image is transferred on my pillow. It's so easy. You can use those sheets on t-shirts or anything that you like to transfer, and after a few seconds the transfer is on. I'm removing the bottom sheets of it, and you got the fully transfer on your pillow. I'm repeating the same step on my second pillow cover. Also, I got this image from Etsy if you're interested, because these are not my creations, I just downloaded. Also, you can be creative and print out any kind of image on this kind of sheets, and you're gonna have an amazing unique look. Dollar Tree is having a lot of large plastic pots. Choose one large pot and one saucer, and I'm gonna be creating a large teacup. So after I remove the tag, I'm gonna be adding a primer, sealer, and it will be easier because this is a plastic base, and to add a paint on it, it's easier to add a primer on it, and the paint will stick on very nice, and you don't need to add a lot of coats of paint. Add just one coat of a primer to it. So after I remove the tags, I just add a primer, and when it's dry, I'm gonna be adding a paint. For a paint, I'm going to be using this French millinery DIY paint. I really love this, like a lilac, lavender, soft color. And I only give it a one good coat of this paint. And you can add any kind of favorite color that you have. Doesn't need to be like a lavender, lilac color. And have amazing pot for your porch. And it's going to look super beautiful for this summer. I'm also painting the cap for it, the saucer, if you mind. I'm gonna paint it inside and out, and when it's nice and dry, before I added more embellishments, I'm gonna be making a handle for my teacup. For the handle, I decided to go with this black beaded wreath that I got from Dollar Tree. I cut it just a half portion of it, and I'm just making it in a shape of a handle for a cup. The wire from this beaded wreath is so flexible that you can make it in any kind of shape that you like. And now that I made the shape that I like, I'm putting the beads back where they fall off. And before I glue it, I want to see how I got the size. And I'm cutting off the extra wire on the edges, and after that I'm gonna add one more bead on the edge of the wire so the wire won't be visual, and then on the end I'm just adding a glue so the beads cannot fall out of the handle, if that makes sense. Now that I got the handle nice and sturdy with those beads, I'm just gonna be adding this adhesive glue in the middle part of the handle and on top of it, and I'm gonna slowly glue it and add it to my pot. I'm holding the handle until it gets glued in one place, because with this glue it takes few hours to get sturdy and nice and glued. So after I left it for a few hours and I got the sturdy look on the handle, I'm gonna be adding more embellishments. Before that, I'm showing you that I drill a holes on the bottom because I'm gonna be adding a real plant on this planter. And now I'm just adding extra embellishments with this ribbon transfers lavender and adding these flowers on the sides of this teacup. It looks so beautiful, French country, shabby chic, cottage look, and I really love the whole look, how it came out. I'm using the scraping tool for my ribbon transfers, and I'm just adding a couple of branches of lavender around the pot. After the transfers are on my pot, I'm just gonna be adding a clear DIY wax to seal my DIY paint and my transfers. And this DIY is done. I really love how it came out. I love this beautiful look with this teacup look. And now I'm just showing you that I'm planting a real planter with these cute lilac color flowers. I don't know the name of them, but it's just a perfect match for this cup. You can always add some fall flowers, but I wanted to add my real plants for outdoor, and really love this beautiful purple color on these flowers. I got these rain boots maybe over 20 years. They're really old. There is some holes in it, but they really look good, still look good. So instead of me throwing them in trash, I'm gonna make this trash to treasure. I'm gonna clean them well, and I really like this black and these white designs around it. They're from Pink, and I'm gonna clean them well with the alcohol wipes, and after that I'm gonna make them over into a beautiful planter for my outdoor lavender cottage look this time. I'm pretty sure you got some old boots in your stash that you can turn them into a beautiful home decor piece, and this is what I'm gonna do with this. So now after I clean them well, I grab the same French military DIY paint, and on the edges where is the pink color, I'm gonna add that paint. And I hope with these boots I'm giving you some idea for you to go and search through your old shoes that you have and make them into a home decor piece. Nothing's wrong with it, right? And doesn't cost me anything for this DIY. I'm just remaking my old boots, bringing them back to life, and with adding some flowers and bows, they're gonna look gorgeous. You're gonna see how they're gonna look. I'm also painting those buckles on the edges to get rid of that pink color. I just added one good coat of this French millinery color. I'm also gonna seal them with a DIY clear wax so the paint won't fade. And now when it's nice and dry, I'm just gonna add some embellishments to it. To make my boots standing up and make them more fuller, I'm gonna be adding some shopping bags inside of it. So I just grab a couple of shopping bags and filling my boots with them. From my stash, I grab all those lavender and lilac flowers that I have, and I'm just gonna make them into a bouquet. For the first boot, I'm gonna be adding these lavender bouquets that I have, and I'm gonna add them on one of the boots. For the second boot, I decided to add the flowers that they have a longer stem, so that's how they can combine together with the smaller level lilacs with the larger level flowers, if that makes sense. So basically, I'm just creating a bouquet like I'm creating one in a vase, but since I have two boots, I wanted to fill them up, and then on the first one I just added the smaller lilacs, and on the second boot I added the longer stem flowers together. Now that I got the look with the flowers that I like, I'm gonna be adding some ribbons. In the middle part, I'm gonna be tying my boots with this lace lilac ribbon that I have, and I'm just gonna tie them very tight so they won't separate. With this polka dot lilac ribbon that I have, I'm gonna be creating like a large 8 loop bow, and it's very simple. When you have I always say, when you have a nice quality of a ribbon, you can never go wrong creating a beautiful bow. So as you can see, I'm just holding with my 2 fingers and creating loops. One by one, I'm just rolling my ribbon and creating the bow like I like. Very easy to make bows like this. With holding the ribbon in the middle with my 2 fingers, I'm just working with my other hand, creating loops parallel from each other until I fully make bow with like 4 loops on each side, as you can see. I'm gonna tie my loops in the middle with one of my twines that I got in my stash, and that's it. Simple as that. I have a nice gorgeous bow. I'm gonna also cut off the edges in a high-end look as a ducktail, and that's it for this cute bow. This bow is gonna go in the middle where I tied the lace ribbon. I'll be using these flower shaped wooden cutouts and these planters from Dollar Tree. I'm gonna be painting the flowers with the black chalk paint. I let them on a side to get dry, and then I'm gonna be painting my planters with the same French millinery paint that I've been using throughout the whole video. And now that they're nice and dry, I'm gonna flatten the back part of my planters, and I'm gonna turn them into like a flower planter pockets, if that makes sense. So it was so easy and smooth to flatten them on the back part of them, and then that I got the look that I like, I'm gonna be gluing them on top of these flower shaped wooden cutouts. And to glue them, I'm gonna be adding a self-adhesive glue, but before that I want to smooth out the frame around the planters so it will be easier for me to glue the planter on the back. And to add the self-adhesive, you have a sturdy look on those planters, and to speed up the gluing, I'm also gonna be adding a hot gorilla glue, but the one that is gonna make the sturdy position with these planters, it is the adhesive glue that it's gonna let them stay on for outdoor. I repeated the same step on my second planter, and that's it for this part. Now, to embellish it, I'm gonna be adding some leftover lavenders, lilacs, branches, whatever I got in my stash, and I'm gonna be adding all those branches in two of my planter pockets to make it all nice and cohesive with my theme today, and it's gonna look gorgeous beside my decorations that I made today. To seal my pots, I'm gonna be adding a clear DIY wax, and then we're gonna move on to the next embellishments that I'm gonna be adding to these planters. Super quick and easy and gorgeous look. Nobody's gonna know that we made this decor for less than $2.50 each, right? I don't count the flowers because those are out of my stash, but the base is only $2.50 for the flower cutout and the planter. Now for the extra embellishments, I got this beautiful lace pearl ribbon that I'm gonna be adding on top and on the bottom frame of my planter, and with adding this, it looks so shabby chic and beautiful and gorgeous look. I'm just gonna add a glue on the edges of that ribbon, and that's it for this beautiful creation. I'm also adding the ribbon on the bottom frame of my planter, and I think it looks so beautiful. You're gonna see it up close at the final reveal, and I'm so happy how everything came out, and I made it with lots of love, and I had so much fun creating every single piece of this today. As the handles, of course, another lilac lavender color. I got this lace tiny ribbon, and I'm just gonna add it on the holes on my flower signs that I have. And that's it for all these creations. Let me know, what do you think about all those beautiful creations that I made today? Which one is your favorite, or which one you're gonna be remaking? And before I let you go, and until next time, my darlings, and a new adventures, I'm sending you lots of love, lots of music, positive energy, blessings from me to you. Bye bye.